Jack, we're only a few days out now from Wasps in the semi-final of the Premiership. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got a good ring to it. But yeah, it's going to be a big game for us, not just us, but obviously Exeter. But we've worked extremely hard to be in this position now, especially the boys of, not just the boys that have been out there every single week, but the boys behind the scenes as well. It's been a whole squad buy-in, and to be able to have that chance, especially at home in front of our crowd, it's going to be a special one.
You talk about home advantage. Your hat-trick of tries helped a lot to getting that home advantage. It's going to be key this weekend, probably. Yeah,
luckily for me, most of them are dot downs. When you got boys like Slady and Dolly on your inside, it's nice to be able to just put the ball over the line and finish it for the team sometimes. But it's been a bit like the Exeter way. We were lucky enough to be in the top 4 with a couple more games to go, and that big chance to get that home semi-final. And that's the games that we were looking forward to the most, and making the most to count. So to have done that and to have achieved that is obviously special.
The key objective start of the year was to get in that top 6. Then it goes to top 4. You're in the top 4, home advantage now, but the whole mindset of the place has changed over the last month or so. You're all thinking a lot differently, and you now know you're potentially 2 games away from winning a title.
Yeah, again, that's just the way we are as a club. Getting into the Premiership was a big thing. Winning those Championship games was a big thing for the boys here at the time, and then being recognised as a quality Premiership team, staying in the Premiership. And again, another stepping stone. That was getting into the Champions Cup, what was the Heineken Cup back then, winning the LV final. They've all been stepping stones for us as a team. Again, once we've got one thing, we want the next thing. We want to keep working for that. So to be in the top 6 for the last couple of years, and then obviously the next thing for that is to get in the top 4. Once we've got that, we want to go for the top 2. So again, that's why we're such a quality team, and it's a big buy-in for everybody.
Wasps, you've seen them enough this season, will pose a huge threat, but much probably tougher than 2 weeks ago when they were here.
Yeah, again, completely different occasion, isn't it? They came down here knowing they had another game to play. It's knockout rugby now. It's the most important ones. It's a semi-final. Whether you're home or away, it's a game that you must win to get to that final. So, there's a big history between us, just especially this year. Again, playing against each other a lot has allowed us to work out each other and what each other are going to bring. But Wasps are a dangerous team. Again, the occasion can change. We don't know what the weather's going to do or anything like that. So again, we just got to focus on ourselves like we did a couple of weeks ago, and worry about what we bring as a team.
You've already had a hell of a year, but what would it mean for you to now book yourself a place in the Premiership final?
Yeah, I think again, it's just down to how hard we worked all season. And to be here in this situation and a place to win a semi-final, to get to a final, would be an awful shame to let that slip. We're so close. Like Rob, not just Rob, but Jeff and all the senior players are saying, at the end of the day, you're 2 games away from being champions of England. When you look at it like that, it will be a shame to be so close, but to let it slip. So the big important thing to us is not let the occasion get ahead of us. At the end of the day, it's another game of rugby. There's a lot riding on it, but a game of rugby is a game of rugby, and as long as we focus on ourselves and play the Exeter way, that's the most important thing.
You can see the boys buzzing out there now. The excitement's building all the time. But for you, especially you younger guys, you're playing with your mates. It's dream come true almost.
Exactly. That's one thing that I'll never forget, and that's the one thing I always think about when I take the field is. I played rugby as a kid for fun, to be with my best mates, and there's no other way to look at it. I'm still doing it now as fun and playing with my best mates. The games are a lot bigger, there's a lot more people watching. But at the end of the day, if you start getting too serious about it, emotion and all can take over a bit. So the big thing I focus on is just trying to have a bit of fun out there.
Crowds last week, we saw 3-hour queues at some stages there. The people were desperate to get their ticket for this week, and they're going to make themselves heard at the weekend. Yeah, again,
most of the fans out here were here before we actually started training. So, to see that and to know how much that means to people watching is obviously a big thing for us. We said the last time we played Wasps, it was a possibility to be our last game of the season. So no matter what circumstances, you want to make that an exciting one for everybody watching. Luckily for us now, we've got another chance to play in front of our crowd, which is going to obviously be another exciting game. So it's important for us to put a performance on out there.
Is there a bus coming up from Penzance?
Yeah, most certainly. But to be fair, now most weeks there's a bus coming up from Penzance to come up to watch. It's a chance to enjoy rugby and enjoy a good standard where you're playing. The way Exeter play, it's always exciting to watch. So to have my family up as well is obviously going to be special.
Yeah, I guess really it's a case of killing time, isn't it? You know, you played so well against Harlequins. When you play as well as that, I guess you want the next game to come around as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that is a way. That's a factor of it. But you know, the last time we played Wasps here, we had a week off the week before. And you know, it's important to keep boys fresh and boys ready to go on the week. You know, it took a lot of us out. It took a lot from us the last couple of weeks against Wasps and Harlequins. So, you know, to have a chance to just focus on a few simple things that we needed to work on from the week before has been good. But obviously, yeah, the most important thing is to go flying into the game.